How y'all doing? What's up, everybody? I know I'm looking a little bit, I may be looking kind of heavy behind the eyes and kind of dark. But let me just go to say this, that I have to say that I am blessed, I am grateful, I am thankful and grateful unto the Most High, the universal God force, to which I give much praise is due. All right? And of course, with all respect to other religions out there, there's many names that the omnipotent one goes by. All right, there's not many out there that would say the universal God force respectfully. However, it all directs to those who have personified the essence of the Creator by what means? Knowledge. Knowledge is power, and knowledge reigns supreme. So, yes, we do have the gods and goddesses on the earth of all colors and shade. Yes, indeed. That's without a doubt. All right. I just want to clarify that real quick before I get into this meaty video. This video that has meaty content, which I'm going to be going into, and which is basically an expression of an expression of myself, which I look to speak on or into the ethers to them entities that's out here every day and every night, every second. Now, I'm not trying to drive that out there as if I'm trying to demonize what's taking place within humanity, but I can't help but to know and continually bear witness. Hence, this morning, me waking up, in addition to many other mornings, to noise, I mean, just, it's like common sense ain't that common. And with that, you may have some kind of clashing. We live in New York City, one of the most diverse places in this nation. You're going to have culture clashing. You're going to have, few arguments. You're going to have some mishaps here and there. So I'm putting that out there. I'm trying to be as clear and frank as I can be, as well as concise, because I don't want to hold you too long. Now I should have went ahead and said, yes, this is who, your host, considerably, as I'm kind of warming up myself for a future podcast, Leo Isaiah Bridges. All right, that's the name that I gave myself upon my quickening, upon my coming up in consciousness and becoming more spiritual. All right. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, let me greet y'all again, as well as give you thanks for your time coming on in and hearing me out in this video, in which I do hope that you really grasp something from what I'm about to disseminate here, okay? As well as pass it on. Pass it on. May I remind you that I'm not looking for fame, I'm not looking for clout. But when you speak in particular truth, irrefutable truth, you shine a light into the dark, you're going to be drawn out there. To be drawn out there is, in other words, to say what, if I could accentuate the positive, is to be glorifying a light to whatever degree or whatever wattage. You got an 80 watt light bulb, you got a 75 light bulb, you got a 65 watt light bulb, etc., etc. Okay, we don't got to get so crazy on this, but I'm just, just trying to give some perspective here. You know what I mean? It's time for some new folks to, wipe the boogers out their eyes and look out of a new window. Yeah, man. It's needed out here. So, this is me. Let me go ahead and say, this is me once again expressing myself into the ethers to speak onto the entities. And of course, is all quite metaphysical, which is inseparable to what? To which all things are primarily what? Spiritual. So let's get into it. Now, in my awakening, I've been hearing a lot of people talk no matter where I go. And I hear certain keywords, I hear certain trigger words, and it pertains to me. I've come to accept that this is all a challenge. Something is needed to shake us up, to agitate us. And it's funny that I'm using that because I've mentioned that the idea or concept of agitation that I had placed on my European family. where I've said I can recall saying that they are some great agitators. And by all means, yes, they are, even up to this day. But not only are they agitators, there are many things that we can include, many words that we can use to describe them, to describe who we are. Because let me go ahead and say this too. Let me remind you, of course, as many may have heard, that this is not more of like a physical war. All that kind of bloodshed and wickedness, excuse me, it has dwindled, subsided, canceled out, but it's still quite here on earth. And what do we need? We need people who got the strength, who got the skill set to fight things out of the earth. And excuse the noise that you hear. Of course, I'm at the airport. You got the taxi cabs over here, and you have look like he's about to, yeah, he's about to pull back. Yeah, you got the guys out there about to drive him out. Yeah. Anyhow, so as I've said, I've been hearing many words, and it's like I give it up to my European and Asian family, and in fact, primarily them, but also everybody or anyone who has learned how to craftily use their swords, where you can interject satire, where you could be, coming at someone with some kind of particular innuendo. You know what I mean? Subliminal messages. You're speaking about them, something that they may have on. You say something that's referential towards what they have on, or the look upon their countenance, their hair, whatever it is. I've been hearing this ever since, right? Ever since my awakening, becoming more conscious. And I've come to a point where it's like, this is all part of a test. This is not about, as I've said before, not about being belligerent, not about being wild and outlandish, but it's all a test. And I think in some cases, and maybe so in most cases, due to the prevalence of wickedness, that many people have failed. But what? We're still trying. It ain't over. We got life, we got family, we have whatever kind of means of support, we have it here. All right? We above ground. It's time to always do that work. If I had it my way, when you look at your watch, the time should always be now. It should always say now, like right now. Because the time is always right now to try to make some changes. Yes, we're battling against a lot of, what do we have? We have subjections to the laws of the land. And by so, you have politics, bureaucracy. And these are things that are implemented by whom? Those who are considerably supreme. Why? They hold high places in government. And as we know, and let me just say, in case you don't know, that the spiritual and the physical is inseparable. You have degrees of knowledge. Okay, no matter what color you are. So, let me continue on. Now, to the ethers. For some reason, and this is kind of going away from, what I've been hearing about, I've been walking sometimes and they'll be behind me just saying stuff, and the energy that I can gauge, it's not my insecurity. Because if I was insecure, I would have been buckled down, I would have sold out, banana would have probably went in my tailpipe, or whatever. I would have did something very wickedly, sexually wicked and perverted with somebody, gave into this so-called rainbow gang and rainbow nonsense y'all talking about out there. That ain't me. You understand? I've been going on day in and day out, being patient and enduring. When I know that it's funny that you gave people, let me just say this too. If you want to take it as, hey, take it how you wanna. You understand me? Come and step to me direct. Don't come with your pretty little talk, and y'all always gotta have more than one. I stand solo. You understand me? And when I talk out there in public, I talk on the air train, I talk on the The regular train, I talk on the bus, wherever I may be, selectively in which I choose to, I do. I do this. I rebuke that spirit. You understand? All the little cute things y'all got going on. It's funny that you so queer, you perverted, you wicked, and you trying to talk about somebody else. The nerve of y'all. Take it how you want it as an offense, so what? In which I hope you would be more rational and sensible to know what angle I'm coming from, because I was going to say, we're all, not me, many people out there are being afflicted by that continual wicked sexual demonic spirit. And all for what? What does it bring forth? What is it conducive to? Pleasure? Now let me speak to my brothers in particular, African men and African women. If it's about pleasure and money, let's break it down. If it's about pleasure, then how can we not bring it forth babies? That's a product of love. Maybe because two men and men don't make wife. I mean, men and men don't make life. Two men don't make life. Two women don't make life. We came here by the conceptual decree of the Heavenly Father, the universal God force, what? Conceived of and by a man and woman. So how do we get here and get all turned out, perverted, and then you go on to the same sex? That's bringing death into the spiritual covenant. Let me say that again. I've said it in the past, but see, this is how I know y'all soft out there. Because I said what I said. Who's sharing this word? Who's accepting the hard truth? And if you want to debate me, call me out. I will gladly be there. I often say in times when I'm going off, I would tell people, wherever I be, wherever I may be, I say, look, don't really take this personal because I don't know you from anywhere. This is more spiritual. It's in the Bible, it's in the Quran, X, Y, and Z. But what do we have? We have a lot of soft people out here who's not really girded up. Yeah, you folks may have a big pectoralis major, your biceps, your triceps. You may have a big body, gym-looking body. But what about this spirit? Where in the book of Timothy it says, bodily exercise profiteth little. Exercise that which is of God. So where y'all at? Now, I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to put this out there. I'm passionate because I got many things running through my mind, and in addition to what I've been dealing with for X amount of years. And what's going to continue to be here until we get this work done and kick the ass. You know what? Let me not even use that because that may get perverted also. Pause. Funny business, right? Let's get that shit up out of here. Get it out. Because it's not needed. So you mean to tell me that, particularly to my African people, and of course, with the Africans at the top tier, on to everyone else, be reminded, is that you rather take on the covenant of death before we get to learn the real truth about life and bring about an abundance of love, bring heaven down on earth, and to connect. All people always talking about, yo, we don't have proper union. We're not together. We're not united like we're supposed to be. Well, why you think so? Why? Some people told me, yeah, yo, we got unity. I said, you know what? With all due respect to what I've been seeing, yes, we got unity. But that unity is perverted. That unity is compromised. Under the auspices of what? Moving further. So, you know, I ain't looking to take on. Matter of fact, I don't even got to say it. Because this is going to be what it's going to continue to be, because a lot of people just don't know, or they don't care to know because they scared of that. And what they rather do is, like I've said before, when you are possessed, some may not even know, because you got the ways of the world going on out here to which many people is going through that broad gate. So it's like, to them, it is what it is. Oh, you better get that. I done had it said to me before. That's how I know. And I'm like, are you kidding? No, yo. Anyhow, let me get back to the slick talk I hear out there. One in particular that I don't like what I'm hearing when I'm here at JFK. We got a place called Federal Circle. That's one of the stops on the air train. One of the key words or trigger words I would have to say, in addition to when they be like, how do I get to Jamaica Station? And this comes from a lot of people, especially the Euros. Every time they say Jamaica Station, excuse me, it kind of triggers me in a way. As if the spirits be trying to tell me Jamaican people got something to do with taking place. It's more than just Jamaicans. This is a spiritual warfare to which many people has been possessed, invoked, and provoked to do what that spirit and that possession says. It moves you. Do you comprehend? Now I know it's easier said than done to fight this out, but this thing could get very complex, and yet, due to the laws of duality, as complex as it is, or can be, so as simple as it can be. What's up? What's up with that? You hear me? You follow? So whenever I hear Jamaica Station, and they say it in such a way, because I got to give it up to them, man. It's like, that's how I know there is something that we're taking on. It's more than just possession. It is manipulation, intimidation, which may be continually uh, being worked on by means of what? Nanotechnology, being micromanaged through this particular device right here, in addition to many others. So we got the advancement of technology. You got cameras everywhere. They could tap into this phone. They may be looking at this right now. Maybe. But no big deal. I don't care. Because I'm not a wicked person. I got nothing to hide. There's no bones in my closet. I done made a vow. I done spoke to the Lord. I done spoke to the Creator and said, look, and this is about about 5-6 years ago. And things started to lift on me. However, in doing so, I became out here as a different being, all in measure and by degree. Okay? And I'm still looking to profess myself and become fortified as a man of God. And I would hope the same for you, brother and sister, and of all nations, ethnic groups. Okay, but when I hit, let me stick to that. Oh, Federal Circle, they say it in such a way, and they would say it more than once. Asking people, where's Federal Circle, when there's a big sign there on the monitor that tells you if you take track 1 or you take track 2, this is where track 1 goes, this is where track 2 goes. So what's the big deal? I see y'all, I hear y'all, I can see what's going on. You got college graduates out there, you got junior high school students. I mean, come on. Come on. Some people may say, come on, man, you're taking it too far. It's not what you think it is. Come on, man. I'm not a fool. And I would only hope and pray that when you get your time, when you get your calling, and then the Father got his hands upon you, trying to move you and have you come on into the bosom of the Creator, to become one with the Creator, that you're going to see. You're going to see. If you're granted so, in which you should be, in which I feel many people they have been, but they gave in. Because even the Bible talk about that in the book of Ecclesiastes, that the race is not to the, and at the end of that, time and chance happened to them all, in which some people's lives have been cut short. Well, who's to know? Because we don't even know how to communicate these things, and we don't even hold confessions like that, particularly of my people. I feel it may be established. I certainly give the benefit of the doubt that it's established out there, but for us, it's not like that. It's not like that. Why is it getting blurry like this? What's the big deal, man? It started out okay, but all of a sudden, like it switched. Anyhow, for the folks that, like I said, micromanagement, don't think that the folks that put these devices together, that they don't know how to tap in and, like I said, micromanagement. they can manipulate certain things. In which case, it may not always be that. So I'm not trying to put it in the sense of conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracist. No, I don't deal with that. Okay, there are just some things that I question, some things that I put out there to provoke thought. Okay, to provoke thought. But many people won't even put the time in because what? They better not. They feel like they better not. A lot of fear has been put in them, and they better be compliant with the ways. They better obey because what? They're gonna lose their funding. Oh, somebody may have a tape about them or something that they're gonna spill if they try to get away from that. So that's what we dealing with out here. That's what we dealing with out here. Listen, federal department or whatever. If you want to put me out there in any kind of way, and which I feel you have already, in addition to the CIA, because y'all all a network and an umbrella. I'm not saying that to demonize y'all. I'm just saying that as like I know you guys have power because you're very intelligent. You see, that's how compassionate I am and rational and understanding. I can't see everything. Neither can you. But I know that the Heavenly Father brings everything into judgment. That's in the book, a very secret thing, whether good or evil. So I stay with a clean heart. But there are some things that I do have to continue to work on within myself to really come out and give something on to the people where it could be palatable, it will be attractive, it will be, you know, inviting. Because oftentimes, that's how I know we got a lot of softness out here, is when I come out, or anyone for the fact of the matter, comes out and they hear that roar, they hear that spirit of God coming out. Some people may say, oh, that's not the spirit of God because he's so loud and he's so, he used a curse word. Do you know how much curse words comes out of the mouth of homosexual people? So it's not you look. If it's not what only goes into the mouth that defiles people and what goes in and whatever, please don't try to pervert that. Those folks over there, it is what it is, right? Shit, what the hell you think they dealing with over there? Y'all wicked, man. That's right, man. People done got involved with that, families broken apart, ostracized, parceled out. I know for my African family, we got so much work to do so we can really get to where we have to, really please the Creator. And I'm speaking to myself here, of course, because I'm here with y'all. You know, I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm just putting it out there so y'all can hear me and feel me. But I think what happened is because of the ego, because of the pride issues, people are so quick to want to be right. They want to be, they want to like try to clear their name or they want to try to air out how they feel in regards of what the ego, of pleasing the ego. Yo, you can't tell me nothing, bro. Yo, I know this. Hey, yo, you ain't hear about da 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 da. And this is where we have to know how to use wisdom and apply it when we looking to converse. Oh yeah, it is a skill set to develop. I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm just keeping it real. It is a serious skill set to develop, and we got to get to the facts of the matter, okay? Because I know that the spirit is out there. Because I done got around certain people. I looked upon them, and the thing that moved upon them, how they moved and how they look around, I know the presence of God exists. I had to level two dudes the other day right here in Terminal 7 who came next to me just talking all wild and crazy. Now, they wasn't talking to me. They was talking amongst themselves, but they were also talking to the staff of the airlines in such a way. I was like, yo, I wanted to get up and be like, yo, who are y'all talking to? Now, I understand you may be going through something, but these people are here to they're providing a service. For whatever reasons, for whatever happened, don't got to be talking to them like that. You know? But that spirit got it in such a way that that wicked, conniving spirit will always bring a test to you. So, just like the book says, they will look to wear out the faith and patience of the saints. We can try to personify it. We could try to anthropomorphize it. I'm talking about that of the word, and that comes into the physical realm. But as always, be reminded, brothers and sisters, that it's always spiritual. It's always spiritual, primarily. Secondary comes physical. Because half of the times you don't gotta say a word out your mouth because what? That metaphysical energy speaks before you could even say a word, in addition to the tone of your body language. Do you follow? You know? So, this ain't no game. And I don't know, let me get back to this, and I'm so sorry that I may seem kind of choppy, but as far as my Jamaican family, I have to go with them, and I'm putting this out there because of what I just gave you. When I hear people talk about, oh, Jamaica Station, Jamaica Station, and then they say it in such a way that is so emphatic, that is so penetrable onto me, maybe onto others. Now, yes, I know that a lot of things that have been taking place and are taking place, but most of the Jamaicans coming from Jamaica to New York and Miami, Atlanta, there's a lot of perversions. Listen, folks, this is not to say try to point a finger or put blame or mock or ridicule. This is not a game. We're not here for that. We are not here for that. We are to be rational. We are to be critical thinkers, conscious, prudent, to draw about some answer. We want to sort out everything that needs to be sorted out moving further. There's many things that took place there. In addition to the wildness of Pasa Pasa, of when that man and woman had sex right there in the crowd. You had something called hedonism. Because every country, every state got something going on. This is why I say this is a world issue. But it seems with our European family, and those, basically, if you're non-African and you're not as melanated as we are, there's always that element of jealousy and envy where I can sense that people will feel, may not say, that if we had that melanin y'all had, Lord knows what we could do, this, that, and the third. But still, y'all don't understand, though, that that which you came from, you shall return on to. O positive and O negative are the universal blood donors. That's the African people. So y'all can continue to be skillful agitators, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, that it takes willpower, it takes skill, and a proper constitution to have a great memory, short term, long term, and then the applicability of your knowledge in which you read your books, you've been through exams, and the applicability of what you learn out into the public to make a better society. I am not excluded from this picture. But with all this taunting, with all this ridiculing, with all these subliminal messages and talk, the ends will always justify the means thereof. Because Jamaica is not the only ones that's responsible for what's taking place. However, I would have to say this, because I can go up and down the list, but I don't want to do that. Like I said, I don't want to hold y'all too long. I'm trying to be bold, concise, and frank here. Well, not trying to be bold. I'm being direct here. But more concise and quite frank and to the point is that we all got work to do. And it's the odd thing about it, the irony is that we continue to mix our blood, yet the recompense of it is what? Where in New York City, I can't see, where I feel like the foods that's being cooked out here is not proper. That's just a feeling. That's not a fact. It could be a theory. Okay? But I sense things, and I'm like, yo, I try not to let it bother me. Why? Because I try to keep high-minded. I try to keep positive. Well, wait 1 second. As if I spit into this camera or something. Maybe because, oh, okay, because of the light. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's due to the light. The resolution may change. Actually, at this point, you don't even have to look into the camera no more, which you can just actually let the voice, just hear the voice. Okay? Moving further. So, not only them, not only Jamaicans, this thing is everywhere. Excuse me, but we are here in 2025 where we have the prevalence of that thing all over the place. And people want to continue to dabble in it. Why? Do you feel afraid? There's no need to feel afraid. God and fear don't go hand in hand. You see, one thing with me is that I'm learning to, as I said, fortify myself, become more fortified as a man of God. Is I got work to do with my temper. I got work to do with becoming more crafty with my sword and how I can use my words effectively to drive my point on through, regardless of how people may feel. And I believe that I'm getting better at it because I come factual. I come as I am. I don't look to hurt no one. As I've said before, I'm 41 years, going on 42 with no criminal record, no illegitimate children. I mean, many things I can include to show that I'm gonna let the record show. I'm gonna let the record show. Yes, I could have been doing better, but so can you. And it's just not a matter of money, of how much money you got in your account. Because let me tell you one thing, as I've said before, and I'm gonna say it again: where does money come from? The dollar bills that are printed out come from the earth, cotton, trees, and whatever kind of synthetic fibers that come from an organic matter, but then put into a lab to become what? Synthetic. Coins on the periodic table: brass, copper, nickel, platinum, gold. And the earth was given unto whom at the beginning of time? I rest my case. I rest my case. So, I feel like these are hint words, these are trigger words. Oh, now how do you get to federal circle? And just the notations and the way that they use it. Like, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Yes, some moves I haven't made just yet, quite yet, or I ain't looking to get into it like that because of what I see out here. But I feel like this entity is working to make me look like I'm hateful, to make me look like I'm spiteful. Well, yes, I do despite that spirit. I damn well do, because that gives into the form of that. That's a form of homosexuality is a form of genocide. I done gave it up in many videos where I said, I mean, you know what, man? They shall look to wear out the faith and patience of the saints. And I gotta say, before I go, I'm gonna just cut it right here because I want you to hear this again. You can replay it. You can apply your own critical thinking. You can point out certain words, draw it on a piece of paper, and cluster from it. Add whatever kind of theories, hypothesis, whatever you want to do. Do drop a line if you feel so. But what I want to say is this: big shout outs to the anime makers of Avatar, both the Avatar and Sailor Moon. Yes, indeed. The Japs know what's going on, but they have their fight. Asians have their fight. Europeans have their fight. Africans have their fight. I heard a brother in here tell me one day as he was walking by with someone, he think I didn't know he was talking to me, but I picked up the energy and how it was directed. He's like, we all just one big family, and I understand that. But to say such a thing, which is indeed factual and is true, and is trying to give some positive energy, I'm with that. But with the continual disparaging factors within every demographic, especially where large amounts or concentrated amounts of African people live, why is it looking the way that it's looking? Well, we continue to mix our seeds. And do you understand what I mean by mixing? We having sex. I don't know if y'all know, but the official way to consummate a marriage is to have unprotected sex. The marriaging of the soul, the marriaging of the spirit, sex, soul exchange. How many times we got to hear this? Hey, the Bible says this too. That's why I know that I'm not a Christian, but the Bible got truth. Keep each other in remembrance of. So, as this video quality is beginning to get poor because I'm using the Facebook camera, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm already past 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Take a look at the animes I just listed. Apply critical thinking. Sit down. Just you know what I mean? We got to do better with our dietary regimentation. Yes, indeed. Exercise and regimentation. I said we. All right. So some people I feel are so close. They are so close to truly pleasing the angels and the Creator, which is also in the book, that there is joy in the presence of the angels over one person that repents, quit the wickedness. But it seems like, it's funny. That even the book may say, where one or two are gathered in my name. And I was scratching my head one day. I said, well, where one or two are gathered in your name. Well, I don't think there's many gathered in your name with all this prevalence out here. If it's just a matter of one or two, well, where are they? Because they done put gay flags on churches. You hear me? So where y'all think we headed? Don't be soft, be real. And if that's not tough love for you, I don't know what is. And as I close, also let me say this. Be reminded, we all going through something. We all fighting. We all fighting the spirits. There's different ones out there. In which, as I broke down the, I could have done a better job with the breaking down of the anime Sailor Moon. I just love that intro, that opening theme, the American theme, not the. I like the way that they put together the American theme, the American version, in fact, of the opening theme to Sailor Moon, in which you can go, check my list there, and you will see me break that down. How they put those entities in each orb, which was the seven colors of the rainbow, which represents the seven chakras that we need to get in line. A lot of things has happened through the Kundalini and all this so-called activation. It was wicked. Because if it was, let me tell you something. For as diverse as we are here, and being as melanated as we are, particularly to my African family, we would have had a better world by now. I don't care how you cut it. I don't care how you slice it. We are far from God, y'all. Far from it. We delved into mediocrity because the mendacity that come from the lips of those who hold positions of power is despicable. And I rest my case. Thank you so much for your time. Until the next video, I certainly wish you all the best, and prayers out to everyone out there. Okay? Prayers out to everyone. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful night. Peace, love, and light. Once again, this is your guy, Leo Isaiah Bridges. I'll get more cleaner with my do, because I feel like it's needed. Okay? With the way that I present myself, in addition to many other things, where it should become more professional, and more polished. Okay? For the sake of being more pleasing unto the eye. Not, of course, not any perverted ways. Okay? Peace, love, and light. Ashe.